Everybody, what's up? How are you doing? Here's the deal, is that reaching our goals, accelerating our results, going faster is something that everybody wants to do, but most people will choose to not do what works. What seems to make sense, this is why I say it's a counterintuitive formula. What seems to make sense is actually designed to halt and slow down your performance and results. You have been trained up to this moment in time in your life. Everything that you've been trained up to this point has been designed to keep you stuck and keep you from going after your goals and performing well. Now, what do I mean by that? The counterintuitive formula is this, is a simple question to ask yourself is, how long should I take to make decisions? How long is my decision making taking me? And if your decision making for the things that you know will help you reach your results and increase your performance. This is the key. Is taking you longer than 5 minutes to make a decision and then take action, you've already taken too long to make that decision. And yet I see this all the time with clients that I consult, with people that I coach. We go through these process. We've written it down. Okay, what works? What do you need to do? And yet 6 months later, they still haven't made a decision and taken the action to do the thing that is almost certainly going to produce the result, because they've overthought about it and they've talked themselves out of it, the multiple scenarios of how it could go wrong multiple times. And so the counterintuitive formula that will massively accelerate your results is this, is the time that it takes for you to go from knowing what you should do and making the decision to do it and taking the action dictates how fast you will produce the result. So the longer that you take between knowing the right thing to do and actually doing it dictates and decides predictably how quick you can do something. Meaning, at the same time, you can accelerate your results and performance just by reducing the amount of time that you go from knowing what to do and doing it. But there's this point in the middle there called decision to do it. You see, I see this all the time. People learn knowledge. They go through training. They go through courses. They watch videos. They listen to podcasts. I'm guilty of this myself. But the time that it took them to make the decision to make the action took like 6 months. So, okay, I learned it 6 months ago, but they didn't decide to take action for 6 months later, even though that thing that they know and that decision that they're making hasn't changed one bit. And then the time that it took them to go from knowing to deciding is then doubled, because it usually takes them about just as long to go from deciding to taking action. And so I'll see this almost predictably with people. Let's say the knowledge was on month 1, okay? Month 1. The decision was on month 3. It's going to take them till about month 5. I can't draw backwards like that. It's going to take them till about month 5 to do the thing that they learned in month 1. When if they had decided to do the thing in maybe month 2, it would have taken them to month 3. But they come up with reasons why they can't make a decision. And so it's a process of talking themselves out of it for 3 to 6 months until they finally decide, and then talking themselves out of taking action for 3 to 6 months until they make their decision manifest. And then people wonder, why am I not getting the results that I know that I can get? Why have I been sitting here in this place in time for 6 months? I made the decision. See, the knowledge came in 3 years ago. I made the decision 12 months ago. Why is it taking me a year to put it into action? And we actually become distracted by trying to figure that question out. You see, the distraction is trying to figure out why it takes us so long, instead of making a decision to shore up our decision making. Deciding, I'm not going to give myself more than 5 to 10 minutes to decide to do something that I know is going to help me. And I started to do this in my life, and I started to encourage my clients to do this in the micro. So let's say you have a macro decision. You have a giant project. It's filled with these little micro decisions that you have to make over time. So there might be 100 micro decisions that you have to make for a macro decision, but they get stuck taking 3 to 6 months to make micro decisions that shouldn't have taken longer than 10 minutes to decide, because they're afraid of maybe asking for help, finding out what they need to do, or they're afraid of the responsibility that will be presented to them once they make that decision. And this is where I see a lot of people get stuck, is they are actually afraid to take ownership over their decisions and their actions. And so it's easier for them to not decide than to decide, because they don't have to come face to face with taking ownership over what they've been doing up to this point. You have to be willing to take ownership over the choices that you've made in your life and walk as a powerful person and say, okay, I have actually chosen to make what should have taken a month take 2 years, and accept that fact and take ownership over that fact and own up to it. And it's painful. It hurts. You might be like, oh, that hurts. Or no, it wasn't me. It was them. And we blame shift why we are where we are, because we haven't made a decision to take ownership over something. And this goes against our natural instincts to do. This goes against what we are naturally conditioned to do as humans, because we are conditioned to avoid pain and to seek out pleasure. And so we're allowing our feelings and our emotions to dictate our choices because we don't feel pleasurable about doing this. And that's why it's counterintuitive. But what you can do is you can actually change the association of that feeling to say, when I feel this way, when I feel this anxiety, when I feel this worry, when I feel this stress, I'm going to reassociate it with looking above it, looking past it, and looking at what's the truth and what decision do I need to make faster. You see, the slower that we make decisions about things that bring us anxiety and pain, the longer we will be stuck in that anxiety and pain. But as soon as you make a decision quickly to choose to do something that will change the situation that you're in for the better, for a positive output, the distance between where you are and where you want to be will become decreased exponentially and predictably to how long you took to make that decision. And so this is the counterintuitive formula. Start making decisions faster. Stop taking so long to make decisions. Stop talking yourself out of why you should do the thing that you know is going to work for yourself. Own up to the fact that you have been scared to make decisions. Come face to face with that thing that you fear the most, that has been terrifying you, and then look at it and say, you know what? I'm going to do that thing and go after what I know that I'm called to do, what's in my destiny to do, and not empower the fear that is holding me back and keeping me from where I'm going. And that's why it is a counterintuitive formula to massively accelerate your results and performance, is stop taking so long to make decisions. Stop taking so long to decide to do the thing that you know is going to help you. Listen, most of the risks and the reasons that you've talked yourself out of doing what is going to help you build a business, grow in your health and fitness, your relationships, increase your wealth, grow spiritually, those risks and those worries are not real. They're not good enough. But you've empowered your fear long enough to keep you stuck. It's time to empower yourself, to trust yourself, and to trust your decision making, and create a track record and history with yourself of decision making to keep the promises that you've made to yourself and go after your goals. And that is how you will massively accelerate your results and performance. Grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.